And good evening or good afternoon and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Spurs past and present. We're just doing a quick stream with our thoughts for the Champions League game tonight. With me is my two usual co-hosts. We've got Queen Elly Hoybier and the man from the Seven Seas, Philip the Godfather. Philip, how's the seas today and whereabouts are you?
Yeah, see, it's quite calm, very foggy, and we're between Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Boston. We arrive in Boston tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock. So, although it could have been in Boston later today if we wanted to be, but it's going very slowly at the moment, just keeping to the schedule. So, it's nice. I can't really see very hard in front of me here. I'll just show you now how foggy it is.
So, is it? Oh, it is a bit foggy.
Yeah, it was a lot worse last night. A lot worse.
Well, the seas look very calm. If you see the Titanic or any icebergs, just don't have Dyer or Davis or any of them to be looked at because we know what happened.
We were. We're actually in the graveyard yesterday where the Titanic victims were buried. It was very nostalgic, all right, you know.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. I say that was very humbling.
It was actually, 121 of them buried there, and a lot of them with no names, you know. But apparently, I'll just tell you this quick story. There's one of the gravestones. It's got a J. Dawson on the top of it, and when the Titanic film came out, everybody naturally assumed that was Jack Dawson, that the character Leonardo DiCaprio, and they had to bring security into the graveyard to keep the fans from maybe ripping up the gravestone. But anyway, he was a stoker on board the ship, apparently, this J. Dawson.
Yeah. All right. And then next to me is Queen Elly, who's going to the match tonight. Elly, are you excited?
Yes, I am.
Looking forward to the match?
Yeah.
And
I'm
what
excited.
are you expecting?
Everything. Right, I'm expecting a victory. We better win because last time I went, we lost. and it's the first time we've lost this season at White Hart Lane. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take. I've just purchased a Højbjerg shirt, as everybody can see, number 5 Højbjerg, and I hope he's playing, because if he's not, I'm going to be very sad. I'm just looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to the match. It should be a good match.
Yeah, and that's the shirt Ellie's bringing over to me when she comes over to Ireland. So I'd be walking around Gory with a Højbjerg shirt on my back. We're just welcome with you. Sorry, Philip, were you saying?
No, I was just saying I read them. I'm a bit behind now on the news at the moment, but did I read somewhere that he might have a muscle injury?
I don't think he has. I think he's just having a rest.
I've got the predicted lineup actually all brought up, so we're going to bring it up in a minute. And it's not the lineup, it's the predicted lineup. We've got Carl Simpson, welcome these people in. Carl Simpson, good afternoon, guys. Dermot, have you finished popping up and down that Levy's window yet? This is from last night, Philip. No. This is continuing.
All right, okay.
Carl Simpson had me doing everything. At one point, I had to turn off my screen and microphone. I was laughing that much. I literally could not speak.
That's good.
He says 2-1 to Spurs tonight for my birthday today and through to knockout stages. Well, Carl, from
happy
everyone
birthday,
here,
Carl.
Happy birthday, Carl, and I hope you have a blast.
It's also Sonny's birthday, so he shares a birthday with Son Heung-min.
Nice.
I just got that flashed up by Bobby Kay.
Happy birthday, Sonny! But Carl Simpson's more important than Sonny, so big up, big up, Carl. We've got Mick Harmlickin. Good afternoon, Dermot, Philip and Ellie.
Hello,
we
Mick.
have also
welcome.
We've got Lisa. Big up, Lisa.
Big up,
who
Lisa.
Is not going to where's Lisa now? There's Lisa there. Yeah, it's very windy around Wrexham, so my internet may be a little bit funny. It's a bit slow coming up. There's Lisa there. Good afternoon. We've got Dave Clarkin. Dave Clarkin as well from Leicester. Let me take that. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, yeah, we've got Dave Clark from Leicester. He's saying, hi from Leicester again. Told you it was the World Cup final 74 versus Holland. Sorry, man. Look, Philip, can you finish an argument here? Right?
Yeah, go on.
Dave said to me it was the 74 World Cup final where there was a problem with one of the Holland's players wearing a cast on his arm. And I'm saying this in 1978 World Cup where the Argentinians were complaining about it.
I can't be specific on this, but I have a feeling it might be 1978.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be sure of that, but I think it could have. I remember the incident, but I just don't know that far back, but I think it could have been 1978.
Because
do
Ellie, because 74 was when he had the problem with the corner flags, I think.
Yeah.
So Ellie's going to Google it, Dave. Look, I admire that stick by to your guns. I'm sticking by mine. We will get to the bottom of this. And we've got Phil over here. Big up, Phil. 123 Coys. If I can bring the comment up. God, StreamYard's not working very well today. It's very slow. He says, afternoon all. How do you think it's going to go tonight? I think we'll go out. I think we will go out for the first time and put it on them. We have no choice but to do that. No, I agree with you. That's what's going to happen. Philip, what do you say to Philo 123 Coys? And he's always on the Irish Hotspur, so big up, Philo. Lovely to have you in with us this afternoon.
Yeah, I think we have to go for it tonight. I mean, there's no point in sitting back. We've seen what Sporting Lisbon can do on the ball. Yeah. They are very good technically, and that Marcus Edwards guy, he didn't look like nothing better to come back to his old stamping ground and put one over on us. So no, we have to go for it tonight from minute one. Not sit back like we do. Go for it. Absolutely no other way we'll manage. We'll do tonight.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and yeah, that is so true. Lisa's saying, hang on, bring it up here. Lisa's saying, I think Ellie's right. Perry and Cutie given the rest to save them from the Champions League. We've got Girula in. Big up Girula.
Hello, Andrew.
Ellie's niece. She says, "Is Romero for to play tonight, as he's posted a pic of himself and the Champions League game tonight, like he's playing?" Well, we will find out in a minute. When I bring up the predicted lineup, it's going to shock you a little bit. We've got Eugene in. It says, "Hi everyone, big up," and the
Hello,
usual quote.
Eugene. I
Big
love
up Eugene.
Love
Thanks
the
for
guy.
coming in. And then we've got Carl Simpson. Everyone, please wish Carl Simpson a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carl.
Birthday, Carl.
And then we've got the Steak Man in. We have, who else we got in? We've got Andrew Gregory in. Big up, Andrew, as well. Thank you for the kind message you left for me last night. Very kind. So thank you so much indeed. And Alexander Hilton with his usual steak. Right, guys. We shall bring up the predicted lineup. There it is. So it's Luis in goal, Davis, Dyer, Romero, Paratici.
They can do a lot of things, but not everything.
Yeah, that's so true. Don't know what I was thinking of Paratici. Paratici, Emerson, Højbjerg, Skip, Basuma, Sonny, and Kane. I'll start with you, Philip. While we'll let Ellie just calm down a little bit because Højbjerg is playing. We'll just let her cool down a little bit. Look, she's off again. Philip, what do you think to that lineup? It is a predicted lineup. It's not the lineup that's going to start, but do you think that's what we'll see tonight?
Oh yeah, probably. I just hope Eric Dyer has got the cobwebs shook out of his head after Sunday, because I don't think I've ever seen as inept a performance by a centre back as he did on Sunday. He was unbelievably bad. He just seemed to have no idea what to do when he got the ball. He was standing there looking around and wanting to know, where will I put it? Where will I do it? And then he decides to try and score the old goal of the century. You know, I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe he'll redeem himself tonight. I would like to see Longley playing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the ball players at the back of that we can bring the ball out comfortably, not to have us diving behind the couch every time Davis and Dyer have the ball. Because that's what happened. We just pass the ball sideways after you, you know. No, I would go Longley at the back. Emerson, I have to say, wasn't too bad on Sunday. Give him credit; he did okay. Perisic, we've yet to see the best of him. No, he's. I don't know. It's taken him a while, but I think once he gets his first goal, maybe that will take the shackles off a bit. The midfield. I still have my doubts whether Højbjerg will play. Maybe I hope he does, because we missed him on Sunday.
He wasn't at training.
No, neither was Romero, and that looks a bit sinister, you know.
He was this morning. They put out a video this morning on YouTube with him training this morning.
Oh, that's okay.
Maybe they gave him a fitness test.
Yeah.
I
mean, Son and Kane up front speak for themselves, but where is Kulusevski? What is going on with him? I saw someone the other day that he mightn't be back till after the World Cup.
Yeah, I read that as well.
You know, why are they keeping it quiet? Why are they not telling us what's wrong?
I don't know. I mean, Philip, look, we again persisting with the 5-3-2. We know we've got problems in the back with Dyer, Davis. I mean, them two play, you just hide behind your couch. Would you have brought in Fraser Foster for tonight? Because Lloris was at fault for 2 of the goals on Sunday. And
I would have brought Pat Jennings in.
Yeah, but I would too. But all I'm saying is, Philip, where do we need to look for next season? Look, I'm a big fan of Bazunu. You know that yourself. You've seen him play for Ireland.
Yes.
He plays very well. There's a lot of people going for Dean Henderson. Where does your heart lie, but where does your head go when it comes to replacing Lloris? And what do you do with release for next season?
We missed the boat with Bazuma. We should have got him, really. I mean, he's going to be too good. He's only 21 years of age, for God's sake. He's 12, 15 years ahead of him. That guy's got a great
Yeah.
future. But whether City would have sold to us is another matter as well, you know.
Yeah.
The problem.
Dean Henderson, yeah, good goalkeeper. Would have made, you know, he's only on loan at Forest, and let's face it, Forest are going down this season. He's not going to be there next year.
Yeah.
I would suggest that there's supposed to be some guy that plays for AC Milan that's supposed to be in for as well. I saw that, so I can't remember his name, but I know nothing about him. So I would say probably Henderson would be the one to be the most available in the summer. But he needs to realise he'll probably have to spend next season as an understudy, because Hugo will probably play out his contract and then go. Fraser Foster, I would actually be very radical, and I would give Foster a game tonight.
Yeah,
we haven't seen what he can do, and Hugo's confidence is bound to have been badly affected by the mistakes he made on Sunday. Like, I know he's a good shot stopper, but it's other aspects of his game seem to be suffering now. He just does not seem to be as commanding as he used to be. And you can see he was hurting on Sunday there, but so were we. Probably a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ellie, I'll go with this. Then I'll go back to you, then Philip on this whole. But Phil, I 1 to 3 coins. And listen, we are going to do. Me and Ellie are going to get. We've talked about this, Ellie, about a fan show. So will be coming up where we'd love to get you on and have your say as well. But we're going to do it in a different way. But it's been put together. But it's going to be a different fan show. Højbjerg and Romero won't be playing. Lucas will start. It will be a 3-4-3. Do you think this won't be the lineup? And if it's not, Ellie, who do you think? What would your starting 11 be?
Yeah, I just personally think Højbjerg won't make it. I don't think he's going to make it. I think it's going to be Skip, Basuma in midfield, and then Emerson and Perisic on that'll be right. The back three, I think Sanchez is going to be there rather than Romero, right? And then Son and Kane up, so similar to size of what we played against Newcastle, which I'm a bit nervous about because Davis didn't offer us anything. Perisic, I'm happy that he's playing. If he's starting, I'm happy because he can give us more going forward, and his passing's more accurate than any of the ones who play in that position. I would have liked to see Longley. I agree with Philip. Longley instead of Davies, because his passing is a lot more on point. He brings out the ball more comfortable. I feel more safe when Longley's got the ball. He's so calm, right? And the goal, he wasn't at fault with the goal against Newcastle because he showed him outside, which you're supposed to do as a defender. You show the attacker outside. But that little Almiron, he's very clever and he's very nippy, and he just. And Lloris wasn't concentrating. He didn't expect him to shoot, and he expected him to cross. So I don't blame Longley. I blame Lloris, and I don't even blame Seth. You can't blame him because actually the ball was so terrible from Lloris. So I would drop Lloris. Actually, yeah, I'm in agreement because I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was thinking, you make those boo-boos and you cost us the game. You get dropped, like when he. Dropped Kulu when he was off form. Yeah, dropped him to the bench, and then he brought him back against Leicester, and he dropped Højbjerg as well for the Wolves game, and then he brought him back. So they need to kick up the arse sometimes, players. They really do.
They do. I mean, Carl Simpson, guys, here's put, if Romero is out, I would actually play Tatanga right centre-back, Longley in the centre-back, and Davis left centre-back. Philip, would you agree with Carl Simpson? Yeah, would you?
It's radical.
And then I go to you, Ellie, on the same question.
Yeah, it's a bit radical, that. Tanganga is one of the players that I read yesterday is going to be shipped out in January along with Hill if we're to be able to buy any new players. So I don't think he features much in Conte's plans, to be honest with you. But then again, needs most if Romero is going to be out. Like, I mean, let's face it, we might as well put a Statue of Liberty in the middle of the defence as Eric Dyer. The Statue of Liberty move quicker. So maybe, I could try it. And say, listen, it's great if it works out. It's a disaster if it doesn't. So we just have to wait and see what happens, you know.
Ellie, same thing with you. Just I'll get Carl Simpson up again. Would you agree with Carl Simpson? If Romero's out, he would play Tatanga, Longley, and Davis.
you've heard the old saying, tried and tested. We've tested them, and they've not been good. So I don't see this as a radical move. I see it as a positive move because Tanganga he's probably raring to go, right? I don't know whether I'd play Longley in that central position. I don't think he's tall enough to command that position. I would keep Dyer there, even though I don't like the player, and then I'll play Longley instead of Davis. But I'd give Tanganga a try as well at right wing back rather than Emerson.
Yeah.
He's got the speed. He's got.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a bad back, hasn't he? The boy. He's got a really bad back. That's why they're not risking him. I think they want to ship him out, don't they, in January?
Yeah, looks like it.
I don't think he'll pass his medical otherwise.
Yeah. Look, for me, I would have put Foster in for Luis. In the back three, I would have put Longley, Romero, and Dyer. You would have to pick Dyer or Sanchez, one out of the two. So you would have to pick Dyer, as much as both of them are as made to happen.
It's the lesser of two evils.
It is. I would have put Segi on the left and Emerson. I thought Emerson had a good game Saturday, and I know a lot of people are going to say,
no, he did. He did.
He was one of the better players.
He played quite well, yeah. I agree with you.
I would actually play 3-4-3 tonight and play two midfield. I'd play Skip and Basuma. And then I would actually play Lucas, Son, and Kane up front, the front three.
Yeah. I think Conte's plans depend almost solely on the wing backs working. The wing backs getting up there. And that hasn't happened for whatever reason, probably the personnel that we have. So there's going to be a match sometime soon when that is actually going to click, and it's going to be wonderful to watch. But we're waiting a long time for it to happen. We're just waiting too long for it to happen. You know?
We got Dave Clark says, I rate Dyer, Sanchez, and Davis as low as any fans. But this is no time to make dramatic changes because players coming in green is not a good idea. And he also puts into that, he says, if you know Conte's personality, then you know that he will play Luis. Look, I probably agree with you, David. I probably agree that that's what he would do. But I think we have a right as fans to demand changes and demand that if a player goes out, that he will put in 120% when he goes onto the pitch on any game. Look, Dyer, for me, was dog awful on Sunday. That first pass back to Luis where it went out for a corner, for me, that was the start of it. As for the goal, Ellie, don't start me on because we had that start the Benny Hill theme tune thing last night. For me, I mean,
so it's not.
What was your thought on that goal, Philip? Because I haven't really spoke to you about that Newcastle game. What was your thought on that goal?
To be honest, my initial reaction was it wasn't a foul, right? But the more picture of angles, it does look like your man puts his arm out around Hugo to try and stop him. So let's put it like this: if 50% of the time it'd be given, if it was Liverpool or Arsenal, that'd be a foul. Yeah.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, it's Tottenham, so it wasn't. That's what I'm putting it, you know. But it was very poor play by him. He was too slow to get out. Far too slow to get out.
Yeah.
If he'd been on his toes, he would have had that ball cleared before I'm even got close to it, you know.
Yes. And Dave Clark saying, I'm not saying that this is my view. I'm just saying what Conte would do. Look, I probably agree with you, David, that Conte will probably do that. Look, if this is the lineup for tonight, look, we just want them to put 110% in. If we win, guys, we're into the next round. And that would be an awful lot of pressure off the players, of Conte. And we can go into the Marseille game relaxed and not worried about getting the result there. Philip,
the only worry I'd have about that is we could qualify tonight, right? But we need to qualify in this place.
Yeah,
because going second is an absolute minefield. Because we're going to get one of the top teams in the next round. We could end up getting PSG or someone like that. Yeah. But so finish top and avoid the risk of running up against PSG or Real Madrid or someone like that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Juventus went out last night, didn't they? They're now
Yeah, I
gone
see
down
that.
to the.
I see that.
Um,
So
Yeah.
they sacked the manager yet? They haven't started the
no,
CONTE to
I think
Juventus
he's still
rumours
in
again, have they?
charge. Yeah.
God.
Look, Philip. Look, I'll go to you now, Ellie, with this. Look, it's how
Yeah.
important are the fans tonight? How important are the fans? Look, to get behind the team
Yeah.
from the start, make it a hostile atmosphere that the
Yeah.
sporting players don't want to go out of their dressing room. How important? I mean, we're very quick to turn on players as a fan
Mm.
base. We're very
Yeah.
quick to turn. We are a divided fan base. We are split with one way or the other, with one faction or another faction, or you're this or you're that. We are a divided fan base. How important is it all to come together tonight for this game, for an important game tonight, the Champions League?
Like, it's vitally important because the crowd can be the 12th man. Really, it can. At White Hart Lane is such a good stadium for noise as well. It's like, it's amazing when Spurs fans sing and they get behind the team. When they drop, it's like the team drops, the
Yeah,
energy
Yeah.
drops.
Mm.
You know, you can see it physically, right? So
Mm.
we've got to raise our voices tonight, everybody. I urge you to sing your loudest, sing your proudest, and let's drag these vagabonds through to the next round.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spurs, but I didn't mean to say vagabonds. I mean,
no,
let's drag this team that we don't always agree on formation. We don't always agree on selection, but we've got to get behind the 11
no,
that Conte puts out on the pitch and the ones that may come
yeah,
on. You know,
Mm.
so we just got to make sure that we don't lose, and the crowd can play a big part in that.
Yeah, that's those 17,500 flags they put out on the south stand should be a big,
That's right.
very, very colourful thing tonight.
Yeah, it'd be great.
yeah. Philip, on the contract, Conte on the contract, are you worried that he's not signing a new contract yet?
I'm a bit. I mean, after Sunday, I was worried because I saw the look on his face at one stage during the second half, and I got it was kind of the feeling, what the hell am I doing here? You know, no matter what I do, it doesn't seem to work out. So a lot will be paid. We qualify tonight. That will be a big pointer in that he will stay with us. If we lose tonight, the longer we keep losing matches and the longer we keep looking like we're a team that's not really gelling under him, then the rumours are going to be there. He's not going to sign. I think in the end of the day, he probably will. But let's get results that will actually convince the guy that his project is on point and is going to succeed with a couple more transfer windows. But if we were to go out of the Champions League and lose another few league matches and slip down the table, and especially with other clubs maybe sacking their manager like Juventus, the rumours are still going to be out there. Let's face it, Fleet Street is only waiting to have another go with us. And that would be an ideal scenario for them if what do you call him, Allegri was sacked at Juventus.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you this question, Ellie, and then I'll come back to you, Philip, why I asked. Do you feel Conte's like in his press conference, since he's been very coy about this, and I put a super chat into Dave's show last night, the Irish Hotspur, saying, look, Conte won't sign a new contract until he knows what's happening in January. But Dave put a very good anti-argument to it, that why would Levy give money to Conte if he's not going to sign? So the question I've got for you here, Ellie, is, do you feel Conte is basically saying he knows our club lacks ambition right at the time of his arrival, but he has to come to realise that it's a work in process because they won't pump the money in? Where do you stand in all of this? Are you confident that he will sign a new contract?
Yeah, I'm confident. The reason being is because I watched these interviews and he mentioned the 3 words that I wanted to hear: family, patience, and building blocks. Right? So if you mention those 3, you feel part of the family. He instantly felt at home. Yeah? He's building a family to gel into the mould that he likes to portray as his team, because this is not his team, remember. He inherited this team in November and he dragged them from 9th battered ball very successfully. There's a few bumps along the way, but you expect that because remember we've got Dyer in defence, right? So now he's saying patience. Patience is a virtue. Everybody knows this. Ferguson didn't win anything in his first 3 years. Klopp didn't win anything in his first 3 years. So he's putting the foundations. He's ripping up part of the foundation and he's putting another foundation in. Like he's already put Kulu and Benny. He knows these players won't let him down 90% of the time. There's 10% of the time you can forgive them. Yeah. But you don't want the other way. 90% of the time they're letting you down and 10% they're giving you, right? Which is currently what's happening. All right. So even that, he's still got us third. Even with these last 6 players that he needs to ship out. He's got rid of 8, I believe. He's got 6 more of the ones that we feel everybody knows who they are. I don't have to name them. Right. And the last bit is putting building blocks in. So he wants to put his stamp on our team in his identity. So I'm really confident that this is a long haul stay. And I remember William Kelly saying on Irish Hotspur as well that he went to the clairvoyant. She said that Conte's going to outlast the ball. And I really believe that's going to come true. I really do.
Look, while we're waiting for Philip to come back in, but I think the satellite moved somewhere along the line. So I think the boat's just getting in alignment.
Probably hit the crest of a wave, you know.
Yeah. Do you know, every time you say that, Ellie, I just get now Hawaii. Every time I see Philip, I get Hawaii 5-0 in my head.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Do you know why? Every time I see Davis, Dyer, and Sanchez, I get the banana splits on in my head. That's another subject completely. And a big up to Paul Pablo as well. Big up, Paul. Welcome to the show.
Let's show people my pen, Ellie and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Look at that.
Oh, good.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, Ellie's just filling in YouTube, John.
I'll show Phil it as well. Look, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Ellie. We're a match made in heaven.
Oh God!
This is what they call in YouTube filling in a bit of space and time when we're waiting for a connection.
Yeah, we're waiting for the Godfather. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I just said to Ellie, Philip, every time I see you now, I just Hawaii 5-0 comes into my head. You know, I'm just I don't know why. Look. Look, Philip, look, there's been a lot with the Conte out people, with Conte out, the other Levy out, Monarchy, and me and Ellie had our saying it last night at the beginning of the show. Our fans are the fan base. Have we been starved of success that long that we want it now? But if you look at other clubs like Newcastle and some other clubs who haven't won trophies, who have had to wait a lot longer than us, do you think Conte is right when he says, look, we just got to be a bit patient?
Yeah. Us football fans, or a lot percentage of us anyway, are very impatient. I mean, it's kind of understandable. Like, the fact it's 2008 since we won a trophy. I mean, God help Newcastle, it's 1969 since they won something. Yeah, I know. So, you know, I mean, that's another thing altogether, you know. So, but to call for Conte out because you're impatient for a trophy is like, I can't even think of a comparison. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Levy out is one thing. That should be kept totally separate. We do want new owners. We do not want a new manager. That's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to counter that argument, Philip, and say, be careful what you wish for, because we could have owners that wouldn't put money into the team and then just want to take money out of the club. So,
very true, yeah.
Man United.
I mean, you look at Manchester United as an example. They have spent €1 billion on transfers, but it hasn't brought them success after success after success. Not
it's
really.
brought them an element of success. But the thing about it is the Glazers didn't even use their own money to buy Man United. They used a leverage buyout. They used the debt of the club to buy the club.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy situation, you know. And they're taking 2.5-3 million a year in dividends. You know, okay, we don't know what Levy and Joe Lewis are taking out, but like you're very right. Don't be careful what you wish for. We could end up with owners like Newcastle have now, who I think are absolutely abhorrent, even worse than Manchester City's. Because these Manchester City's owners don't go around killing people.
Yeah, well, we're going to stay away from that, Philip.
I won't say any more on that. I won't say any more on that. But you know, we could get
Philip,
an owner.
Don't give your location. Don't give your location.
Philip is branded.
They'd be hard pressed finding me at the moment, I'll tell you. No, but you really want to get an owner like someone like Jeff Bezos of Amazon, who could drop $1 billion into the club and not even miss it out of his back pocket. That's the type of owner you want. You don't want an owner that's coming in just to make money, you know.
Look, it's right. Look, I'm going to have to counter the argument here, and Eugene's put a comment in. Look, we're very much opinions on this channel, and everyone has a right to their opinion.
Yeah.
And I'll let you answer this, Ellie, because if I answer it, it may cause a bit. I might go overboard, so I'm going to be very good and be quiet. But this one's for you, Ellie. If Levy out has sold us fans lies about being a big club, then we would be able to accept that lack of ambition. Well, look, Ellie, I am going to answer it. Sorry, Ellie, after reading it. Look, we are a big club. It doesn't matter. We're one of the big clubs in the Premier League. We have a history as much as any other club. We're one of we are one of the top 10 or 15 clubs in Europe. And look, if you want to have a chairman, right? Look, I'm nowhere Levy out or Levy in, but for argument's sake, Eugene, we have a chairman that is actually financially left us secure, very much secure. Yes, he hasn't done so well in the football front, and we can all agree on that. We can all agree we could have bought more players in. We could have backed POCH at the right time. We should have bought players when we didn't buy any. Look, we can all agree on that. But who do you want to come in and buy the club? If you want Levy and Enoch out, who do you want to come in and buy the club? Do you know, we could get owners that could be like Manchester United, that don't give a crap about the club. I think Levy cares. I think it's more 80% about himself, but he does the other 20%. He does care about the football club. We have a chairman that we have the best stadium in the world, in Europe. We have all the facilities. We've got a good manager. We sort of backed him last January when we bought in Romero and Decky. We backed him at the beginning of the transfer window when we bought in Longley, Perisic, and other players. Yes, people argue Jed Spence. Well, look, Jed Spence I think is going to be the greatest next thing since Kyle Walker, personally, myself.
We've got a great manager.
We've got a great manager. So we've got to see what happens in January, and we've got to see what happens next summer. But if you want him out, Eugene, which is your opinion, who do you want in? Give me a person and a name who you want to take over the club. And that's all I want, just to balance out this argument. It's okay having somebody out, but you've got to be very, very careful who you want in, because it could end up going tits up. Ellie, what do you say to Eugene? That's my point of view. I'm sorry for the rant, but that's my point.
I agree with part of his argument, because if you're a big club, you've got to act like a big club and go for the big signings. But the thing is, the problem is because we haven't been successful, footballers are fickle, right? They'll look around, they'll say, right, Real Madrid, my top place. Then where shall I go? Liverpool, because they've got a fantastic name. They've been so successful in England. And then possibly Man United, because they've dropped off, but they're still attractive. So those three are taking the pool of the best players. They're the big fish. For us to get above them, Levy's doing the right things because he's putting us in a financial position to compete with them financially. Because footballers, contrary to belief, they are also fickle with the money. If you offer them big bucks, they will come and play for you, and they might forego Real Madrid. So we've got to get ahead of them financially, because to catch up with them in success, we'll have to win everything, Dermot. We'll have to win the Champions League. We'll have to win the League Championship. We'll have to win the FA Cup for the next 6 or 7 years. Because they're footballers, they know the pinnacle of football is to go to Real Madrid, Man United and Liverpool. They're the 3 biggest clubs. They've got the 3 biggest pools. And then you've got your Chelseas. The Man Cities have got up there because of their money. So they've got up there already. And they've started winning a lot of things, which is attractive to the players that we're missing out on now. So we've got to start winning things. We've got to start winning things so that we get ourselves ahead of this five pool, I call it. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Man City. You can even put Arsenal there. Even though they've dropped off, they've still been more successful than us. Way more successful than us, I must add. They've won 13 league titles to our 2. So if I'm a footballer and I'm thinking, where do I go? Obviously, I'm a Spurs lady. I'm going to choose Spurs, right? Because I'm loyal. But not everybody's a Spurs fan. Not everybody was born in Tottenham or raised in the Tottenham heritage and history. So we've got to be careful. He is doing some really good stuff to get us up there. Yeah. But it takes time, like Conte said, patience. We're going to get there. We're going to get to the promised land with Conte. I'm sure this year we'll win something. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we'll win something. And next year, I think he's going to go for the lead. Because I don't think it's too late for us now. Because we're already 5 points behind Arsenal. And Man City have got 2 games in hand in us. And they've got the same points, I believe. Or maybe 3 points more. Yeah, I'm just saying, like you said, be careful what you wish for as well.
Yeah, I mean, Ellie, this is to the both of you. I mean, I'll start with you, Philip. There's 2 points here he's made. And I'll bring one to you, Philip, and then you to the other, Ellie. This one goes to you, Philip. He says, a chairman who has admitted to misspent 250 million should be held to accountable. But are we still paying?
Who's going to hold him to account?
Yeah, but hang on.
It's not as if he's in the court of law and accused of something.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Hitchen made a horlicks of when he was in there. Are we still paying for the mistakes of Hitchen? Are we still trying to clear up his mistakes and his mess?
We are, but you can be sure that every decision Hitchen made to buy this player and that player, Jack Clark and that type of player, that would have to be okayed by Levy. So what Lockman is saying there, he's quite true. Levy, I don't think there's more than £100 spent in that club without Levy having the say on it. Or maybe that's a bit small, but you know what I mean. A £10 million transfer, Steve Hitchen just didn't go out and sign it and here, give it to Leeds for Jack Clark. That had to be approved by Levy. And maybe Hitchen made a good positive pitch to Levy. This player was what we needed, but that turned out not to be the case in that case and a lot of other cases as well. So the buck stops with the chairman. He's the guy that makes the ultimate decisions. Okay, but holding him accountable. We can hold him accountable. But that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. He's not going to resign because 10,000 Spurs fans think he made the balls of the transfer policy under Steve Hitchen. The only way he can be held accountable is if he's found guilty or accused of some financial mismanagement that he can be brought to justice over that. And you can be sure he's too cute.
He's got all these lawyers around him who get him out.
Ellie, look, while we're waiting for Philip to come back, Ellie, look.
Yeah.
Look, I get very not angry, but I'll get very wound up. Not even wound up is the wrong word, but I'll get very passionate. I'm very passionate about my club.
Yeah.
But if you look at how we are as a football club, and we went through the 90s, and so did many others when Scholar was putting it all on the team to be successful. Business outside the club didn't go well. and we ended up in the financial mess we're in.
We nearly lost our club.
Yeah, and we've had the pandemic.
Yeah.
We've had other things as well. Do you feel that we got the financial reports coming up on the 21st of November? Do you think that we should judge Levy and Conte after the transfer window instead of before the transfer window, where we don't know what's going to happen in January or next summer yet?
Yeah, because Conte said, have patience. He's already said it's going to take 3 transfer windows. So that includes the one that he's just had in the summer. So he's got 2 more to get his building blocks in place.
Yeah.
Like that Pink Floyd song says, another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to say that because he actually referred to it as well in his colloquial way of speaking English, you know. But yeah, I just feel we've got to be patient and give him time, because if we sack him after 1 year because he didn't win a trophy, it's going to be such a heartbreak.
We're not talking about
the man
if
that can take us there.
If we sack him, we will never get another manager again.
I know. Who are we going to get? No one's going to touch us with a barge.
Look, nobody's talking about sacking him. Nobody's talking about him walking. We're talking about that people that want. I mean, Eugene's saying sell it to the fans. That's what he said. He wants to sell it to the fans.
Dermot, what I wanted to say, the fans have got a lot of power when in the stadium. Like when they started singing "Levy out" at the Manchester game, and then they soon got Conte in and sacked his ass, Nuno's ass. He went.
But
he went within 3 days.
There's Tottenham fans now saying we want Conte out. So what do you want? Do you want a world-class manager?
No, I don't think they're thinking this straight, right? When they say Conte out, who do they want to replace him? He's a world-class manager. He's won leagues at every club that he's been. So now let him build the side that he wants to. He's left with Eric Dyer, for God's sake. Who else is he going to play? Tanganga with a bad back, or Bambi, Sanchez the Bambi, who the ball bounces off him, and he's so nervous that he makes all the crowd nervous. Actually, the crowd even get more nervous when he receives the ball. Who's he going to play? So he knows that Dyer's not good enough, right? So he's going to bring in these players. They've already lined up Bastoni. They couldn't get him because he wanted to stay. So let him have time. Let him have time to build his team, in the mould of Conte, because that is not his style of football, by the way. It's his formation, but he hasn't got the players to play it.
Guys, he's starting. The fans that want Conte out, they want him out because of his style of play. They're finding the style of play boring. Well, look, you can only play to the play. You can only play your strengths to the players you have.
It's the players that are boring, not the play. It's the players that are boring. Yeah. They can't do what he's telling them to do.
We've got players from the POCH area still in that team. We've got players from the Jose area still in that team. We've got players from the Nuno era in that team. Look, Dave Clark here, Ellie, makes a point. I don't know if you can still hear us, Philip, as well. The signs at Spurs are not great because Joe Lewis and he's got Godson Levy owns the club. I don't think it is. I don't think
Joe
it is.
Lewis just relinquished it, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think it will go to his daughter, who's a massive Spurs fan and who wants to do things differently to how it's being done at the moment. She wants to put the money in to buy the best players, to get everything. So look, fingers crossed she gets it.
Yeah, look, I'm confident.
I last season I was very much on the other bandwagon. I said my piece last night where I want to see what happens. Look, you can't keep every 5 minutes. I want this out. I want change. I want this. I want that. We have to be somewhere, be patient and trust a process. Conte will get us there. Ellie said that. Conte will take us to trophies. We've got to see where this goes. We've no point shouting and crying now because we've had one transfer window when we brought 5 players in. We have to see what happens in January, and we have to see what happens in the summer. Philip, what do you want to see in January that will make you happy?
Is he there?
I think so. Can you hear us, Philip? Philip? I don't know, Phil. Can you hear us, Philip? I can't. Elly, you're on mute.
I'm on mute.
Oh, there, you're off mute now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask you. That question go to you, Elly.
Yeah. The signs of Spurs are not great because Joe Lewis.
No, not that, Elly. What I said to you. What do you want? What would January be to keep you happy? What will you be happy at the end of the week?
Yeah, I would be happy if Conte identifies the players that he wants, and we get all of the players, that he wants. No more, no less.
Yeah.
All the players that he identifies to Levy, and Levy puts his money where his mouth is and actually gets them for Conte. Not a loanee, not a player that we've never heard of and we have to YouTube them in replacement because he said we couldn't get that one because we can't afford it. Put your money where your mouth is. You've got enough money in the coffers. Make Conte a happy man.
Yeah, I mean, Philip, we've got Eugene saying Conte will give us a good chance of winning something, but if Levy doesn't give him what he wants, Conte walks. Look, I'm not so convinced on that argument, Philip, that Conte will walk. I think Conte's quite happy at Spurs, and he's quite happy to go through a process. Do you think having Paratici there is actually a blessing for Conte, and having an ally there, another Italian man who was worked with before in Juventus or Inter Milan? Do you think that? Do you think it's like he can then put more pressure on Levy to release the money?
Well, I think Paratici will identify the players we want. Conte will rubber stamp those players. Levy hopefully will authorize the sanction of the buying of the players. But the big but is getting these players. Do they want to come? Is the price too much for what? Are they being overpriced? Are they being valued at 50 million when they're only worth 20? And that is the problem when a team like Spurs comes in for a player. The price goes up immediately.
Yeah.
And then if some players don't want to play in the Premier League because it's like some of the players in Serie A and League and the French League and the Spanish League, they're getting away with murder. They're playing practice matches every week. You come into the Premiership, and even a match against the bottom club is a war.
Oh no!
A lot of players aren't just prepared for that, and they don't want to risk their reputation by looking good in Spain and looking absolutely crap in Britain. And it wouldn't be the first time it's happened, So I think it's not just as simple as going, I want him, go and sign him. There's an awful lot more to it than that, and that's why I think fans should understand that.
It's not like playing FIFA or playing Football Manager on your computer.
It's not. No. But unfortunately, a lot of people get into the FIFA 23 mindset and think, it's as easy as pie, but it ain't.
Big up Hayden. Afternoon, Phil, Dermot and Elly. Big up. Thank you. I think it's the first
Hayden.
So big up Hayden.
And also, Dermot, can I say something? Right? Never.
Yeah. Like I was going to ask you a question, actually, Elly. So I was actually going to ask you.
I just wanted to get this bit in because Steve Perriman, I admire him. He's my hero, right? And I watch his podcast, and he said, never underestimate your youth system and a homegrown player. A homegrown player's got his heart in the club. He will fight to the death, right? You've only got, I think, I've only seen one player, I know I'm biased against him, who actually plays with his whole heart when he goes on that pitch. Actually two, but he's dropped off the other one a little bit. Højbjerg and Romero. They go out on that pitch for a war. They don't go to battle, they go for a war. And they come off that pitch with cuts and bruises, bad shoulders, bad hips. That's what I call a player. And Oliver Skip, he's in that mould, because I saw him against Newcastle and he was putting himself about. But there's the players that were slacking around him, all right? And I thought Oliver Skip's giving 100% and the rest aren't. Like Basuma, he wasn't giving 100% in my book. Although he's a tremendous player, he wasn't giving 100%. If he did, we would have won that match, because it would have been him and Skip dominating that midfield. Because everybody knows if you dominate the midfield, you've got a very good chance of winning the match.
Yeah. So, Ellie, what I'd ask you, I did say, but what would you be happy? How many players do you want in January, and where?
Right. So, depending on how he sees Spence, we need the right wing back if he's not going to play him.
Spence is going out on loan, I think.
Spence is going on loan, yeah.
Okay, right. So now he needs a right wing back, because Doherty, however, like people think like he's good, I don't think he's good. I think not many people think he's good, but there are some people that say, "Oh, he's better than Emerson." No,
He reminds me of Wurzel Gummidge.
he's not better than Emerson. He's on the par with Emerson, but they're both atrocious, right? What Conte wants out of a right wing back. So we need strengthening there. Dyer's got to go. He can stay in as a sub, right? We've got to get a centre back, 100%. And the other position I want, well, I want two more actually. I'm being greedy now. I want a central midfielder who can create and score goals, because that is vital in any team that's successful. And you need somebody that can actually be a proper backup to Kane, because what he's doing with Richarlison, he's playing him all over the place because he's supposed to be versatile. But if you're going to play him, just play him as the backup to Kane, and then don't buy anybody. Just keep Richarlison as a backup, but play him as a proper backup. Not play him when Kulu's off form and drop Kulu. No, because Kulu is our most creative player next to Kane. If not, he's got very good vision and he can score goals as well. He can add goals, but we need that creative midfielder and the right wing back field and the centre back.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not rocket science.
Ellie, Emerson, Doherty for me is play. Wurzel Gummidge could do a better job than Doherty, and that's my opinion. I mean, we're going to see him play on the 17th, and I'm literally going to. I'm going. Well, me and Dave have made a pact. He's going after Doherty and Hendricks. I'm going after Stephen Kenny. So that we're going to. Me and Dave are going to split.
Oh, Stephen Kelly's still playing?
No, that's the manager who I'm going after.
Oh.
Right, you thought Nuno was boring.
Stephen Kelly. Stephen Kelly's your manager. I didn't know that.
No, Kenny.
Kenny.
He does manager impersonate. He does manager
I
impersonation.
can't understand you, Irish.
Yeah. Just think Nuno, Ellie, times two. Think of that.
Oh
think
my
Nuno
God.
times two.
Is he that bad? I could think of Gareth Southgate. He's bad enough.
I could do a whole 3-hour show on why I don't like Stephen Kenny. I really could. I could do a whole stream on that. Right. 5 players in right wing back, 2 centre backs, a cam, and a proper backup for Kane if a Richarlison is going to be used elsewhere. Carl Simpson, spot on. Put that man in charge of scouting. And we've got Dave Clark. You don't need to give 100% if you show class. Basuma is the best player in this team for holding possession. His stats show that he's over 90%. Teams high press us, heights high, so they don't. It's only a short pass. And Philip, that's the thing. Teams have figured out how to play against us. So how do we?
We're too predictable.
Yeah, but do you? It was said last night on the stream, and I agree with it. All we need is a couple of class players to transform this squad, into something popular.
Yeah.
Do you think
we're close to it? We're close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we are close to it. But it's frustrating that we've got 90% of the way, and it's the missing 10% that's holding us back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like getting your car fixed and everything's ready, except one part that you can't get hold of, and it's coming in the post and never arrives. Eventually, it arrives, and then everything's hunky dory. I think we're sadly missing creativity. I think that's one thing that's we
Yeah.
need. Whereas the right wing back situation, I don't know, it's running longer than Coronation Street. It really is. I mean, we've so many have tried and so many have failed. That's what that area has to be sorted out. Jed Spence, unfortunately, looks like he's gone out on loan, which is a bad sign for the young lads.
Is he going back
Excuse
to
me.
Forest? Is he going back to Forest?
No, I think he's
I don't
going
know where
to
he's
Palace.
going now.
I think Palace. Yeah, I think Palace are interested in him.
Okay.
Right. Okay. But you know, we are close to it. I on Sunday looked for maybe half an hour of the match until we fell behind. He looked the part. But like the rest of them, he seemed to lose heart after that Lloris mistake, you know, and we were chasing shadows after that. But yeah, we're nearly there. But again, it goes back to the old thing. Conte has to be backed in January and July.
Yeah.
That is the key. If he's not backed, then we're going to be saying this. We're sitting there this time next year saying exactly the same thing. But I can guarantee you, Conte won't be the manager.
Yeah. Look, I think he will be backed. I think Levy will back him. I think Levy will back Conte January. I think he'll be backed in the summer. I think we really don't. I just think he will, and that's what I'm going to say. I think he will.
I hope so.
I think he will. Elly, look, we're going to get the score predictions. We're going to finish up very soon. I've really enjoyed this stream. It's been lively. It's been debated. Nice. We haven't all agreed, which is unusual for us because we somehow always agree, but we haven't done this, and I think it's great.
It's no good to always agree.
No, it's really boring if we agree with everybody all the time.
You know what David Clark said, right? I want to disagree with him as well.
Yeah, I just wanted
to quickly say something about what he said, because I'll forget otherwise. Right, so he said that you need 90% of Bissouma's passing and his creativity and whatever, right? But you need a mixture of players. You need the ones that go out and do a war, like Højbjerg and Romero. They go out on the war, and then you need your players who can create, right? Bissouma's one of those. But if he goes missing, and we haven't got another creative in there, who's going to be the creative? Yeah, who's going to make us tick? So we're relying on Bissouma to step up his game, and he still hasn't done that apart from when he came on twice in the second half and affected the game. But we need him to do that from the start so that we can win the game before it's lost. You see what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Elly. We've got Nick Coupland. We're going to finish up with these few comments, and then we're going to get score predictions then from Elly and Philip and myself. He said, it's insane THFC don't have a ball-playing midfield that will puff out his chest and dictate the game. Example, Ozzy, Hoddle, Waddle, Gascoigne, Ginola, and so on. Yeah, absolutely agree with you, Nick. I don't think none of us would agree with that. Carl Simpson, look, I still believe all of a sudden it will just click and we'll fly. Look, I'm behind you. I'm behind that boat as well, Carl. I think it will just click and you're going to see us going. I think Conte will be backed January and the summer. Look, I'm confident we're going to win a cup this year. I am. Until we're out of everything, I will still be confident we will. We've got Dave Clark saying, if I can bring it up, come on. StreamYard work. Thank you. The class of centre-backs we need won't get in January. So do you go for the second best or do you wait? Elly, do you go for second best or do you wait? Yes or no?
No, I think we should wait.
Yeah.
If we're going to go, we go the whole hog or nothing, you know, and then we'll have to stick with what we've got because we have to wait for these players to become available. And if they want to come as well, we've got to make sure that they actually want to come when we can snap them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
We got Tom THFC.
I think this January is going to be different than.
I think so because of the World Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be different. The World Cup is going to throw up a few gems. And the Paratici, I'm sure Paratici is going to be out in Qatar watching these players and maybe having a pre-transfer deadline deal done for some of these gems. I mean, that's how we got Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa. No one ever heard of them before the World Cup in '78. So
That's true.
this January window could be more productive than others. So let's hope it is.
Mhm.
And the Paratici is ahead of the posse and able to nail these players before someone else gets hold of them.
Do you know what,
Yeah.
Philip? I've got a funny feeling we're going to come out of this World Cup very well. I just got this sneaking feeling that we're
Without
gonna do
injuries,
something.
I hope. Without injuries as
I
well.
think Paratici is going to pull two.
There's 13
gems.
players potentially playing in it, so
Well, Paratici would pull a rabbit, 2 rabbits or 3 rabbits up the hat. Tom TFC, who would you get in for Kenny Dendam? Chrissy Houghton, Roy Keane, Robbie Keane, Philip Brady,
I
Ellie
vote for Philip. Come on, Philip, for the
Dave
manager.
Harris, myself.
no
No,
chance.
seriously, I would like to see Roy Keane, Chrissy Houghton, and Robbie Keane given the chance.
Yeah. Roy Keane would be my
agree.
choice as well. Yeah.
Have Chrissy Houghton as manager, Roy Keane as his assistant, or have Roy Keane as manager, Chrissy Houghton and Robbie Keane as his assistant and head coach.
Yeah.
That would
Put
be
Roy
my
Keane in charge.
team.
Yeah.
You watch us go then. You will watch us
The
qualify.
only problem is we'd have to have a whip round to pay their wages because Stephen Kenny's on a low wage with the FAI. We couldn't afford those boys' money. I don't think.
They'd have to take a pay cut, wouldn't they?
Or we could always bring back Mick McCarthy. But there you go.
Yeah.
That's plan B. Listen, guys. Right. I'm going to start with you, Philip. Score predictions for Saturday.
Score time.
Yeah. Score predictions. What's your score prediction
tonight? You mean? I'm gonna break the habit of a lifetime. I'm gonna go 4-0 to Spurs because I think something's gonna give, and hopefully tonight is the night.
Yeah. And you, Ellie,
I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0 because I think Conte's going to stick with Lloris.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to see the match because the only game they're showing on the ship tonight is Liverpool.
Oh, what a shame! See what I mean?
Philip,
it was very hard. She didn't show that the last game we played, the midweek against United, didn't show it either, which is probably a good thing. But anyway, so I'll have to rely on you guys to keep me up to date with the scores. Yeah.
Well, if I was you, Philip, I'll go and find the captain, kidnap him, hold him in your cabin, and tell him you release it unless you put Tottenham on. That's my advice to you.
Yeah, I don't think it's his choice. Actually, it's a TV channel they have here. It just shows them one game,
All right.
But unfortunate. They might show they might show a repeat after the match. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, they might do.
They'll give score.
Mind you, if they lose, I won't be watching it anyway. But
No. And then we've got
probably will.
Dave Clark putting Spurs 3, Sporting 2, Keane 2, 1 penalty, Son edge of the seat stuff. David, thank you so much.
No, I want a nice reaction game tonight.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
I like David. He's honest. He's honest.
Yeah. Wilton McDonald, great to see you in the chat as well. Mick and Steve D, thank you all for tuning in. We've had a bumper show, really have. Ellie, very quickly, we've got Your Lady show next week. We've got no watch along tonight because basically, I want to do another one till Philip comes back off his holiday. Because I enjoy doing my watch alongs for Philip and Shamu. The three of us are once Philip's back.
You've got to have your brothers with you.
They will be back.
Yeah, I'm back in Ireland next Wednesday. So.
When's your next match at White Hart Lane then, Philip? When's your next coming over to White Hart Lane? Leeds United. That's the last one before the World Cup. Nice one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And we've got your lady show. Hang on there, Philip. We've got one thing to say to you. We've got the lady show next week for you, Ellie. Next Tuesday.
Lady show. Then we've got the charity one coming up, haven't we? Yeah. On the 18th of November.
Please, the link for the donations is on the YouTube channel. It is very important. It's very important. We're trying to help some families out before Christmas. So, look, even if it's €1 or even if it's 50 cents, every little helps. Believe me, it does.
Yeah,
sure.
Philip, thank you very much for joining us on your many journeys of around the 7 seas. So you're in where you have to
problem.
Give us a where's your next journeys?
Well, once we get to Boston, the day in Boston, day at sea, then in New York, and then that's it, finished. So then we're staying a few nights nights in coming home. So
Okay.
Well,
Are you
listen,
sad
All
that
right.
it's ending? Are you sad that it's
Ah,
ending?
yeah, it always goes very quick near the end. You know, it's been good fun.
Yeah.
It's been great fun. You know, so
Yeah.
but now there'll be another one at some stage. So
Yeah.
there you go.
yeah, I
Your
wanted you to
favourite.
stay around, Philip, was because Carl Simpson put a manager for us, and I wanted your reaction to it. So where did he put it now?
Who is
Where
it?
did he?
You put a manager.
Yeah, he did. Good old Carl Simpson. Where did he put? Here we
Yeah.
go. He won some. He won some Thierry Henry. I just wanted your reaction to that.
Let me just say 2009, 2010 handball. I would rather have, who would I rather have? An ex-Arsenal player manager than Thierry Henry. Well, of course, he was an ex-Arsenal player. No, sorry.
You'd rather have
He would
Arteta
never be
than
forgiven.
him.
He would absolutely never be forgiven because he is still hated over what he done that stopped us from going to the World Cup. No way. No, sorry about that.
Would you class him
I don't
as our
think so.
Maradona? Would you class him as our Maradona sort of, Philip?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Handball when he cheated and got away with it.
Yeah, but Maradona did.
Playing for Arsenal, that kind of comes with the territory, doesn't it? You know?
But
he didn't handle it once. He handled it twice.
Yeah. I mean, as Elly knows, Maradona didn't cheat. It came off the top of his hair, of his freckles of his hair, and that's why he got it. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. But listen,
right.
Philip's now going to go and find the captain to see can he get the Spurs game on. Elly's going to get ready
Philip, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Enjoy the game, Elly. Enjoy the game.
And thank you. I've got to get ready for it now.
Okay, lads.
Put my high BS shirt on.
Go.
Oh, yeah. Number 5.
Oh, very good.
Number 5.
See you later, Dermot.
See you later, Philip. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye,
Look
Phil.
forward to seeing you back. Elly, hope you have a nice time at the game tonight. Good luck.
I hope so too. Yeah. I'll send you in some videos, pre-match and post-match. And I'll film the game.
If anyone tries pestering you tonight, just punch him in the nose or kick him in the nuts.
Yeah. I'm going to be in my brother's seat as well. My brother's season ticket. My brother Aggie's given me his ticket tonight because he can't go. He's not very well, so I'm going in his place. So I'll cheer on the lads from a bit further back this time because I was right at the front at Newcastle. Yeah.
But listen, please get over. The Irish Hotspur starts at 5, so please everyone get over there and just tell him where you've come from. Yeah. So everyone here, get over to Dave for his pre-match bump up.
David Harris.
And I've enjoyed this. This was made very quickly. This show, me and Elly, we're sort of talking and thought, do we do a show pre-match? Yeah, let's do one. So I think we're going to do this for every game now. We're going to go on just an hour before the game and have our own little Dermotron and Elly's pre-match thoughts. This is going to be a new thing. But yeah, please donate to the please donate.
Great man himself, Dave Mackay.
Please donate to the charity. Please hit that like button, hit the subscription button. Let's get over 700. In CONTE we trust. He will. Elly, do you want to end off on your famous tunes?
What do you want me to do, Benny Hill, or the match of the day, or both?
Do the Champions League one.
The Champions League. Okay.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes.
Okay.
Hang on there now. You're on solo there. Take care, everyone. God bless. In CONTE.
We are the champions. That's it. I can't do it anymore. I've got a bad throat.